There we go. Really nice and clear.
Today I'm making transparent melt and pour soap using the hot process method.
Okay, so first of all, I need to make some sugar solution, which is 2 parts sugar and 1 part water. So to this I'm adding 133 grams of distilled water. Perfect. And in this jug I'm weighing out 266 grams of just granulated white sugar. Take a little bit out. There we go, 266. Okay. So I'm putting the water and the sugar into my pan. Give that a stir. And then I'm going to heat this, put it on a very low heat because we do not want the sugar to burn. I just want the sugar to dissolve down so that we're left with a clear syrup sugar solution. I don't want it to boil, it just needs to be on very, very low just to dissolve the sugar. Okay, so this took maybe 4 minutes to melt down, and I like to keep stirring it. I can actually see there's still a couple of granules left in there, but it's still warm, so I'm just going to keep stirring it and those will soon dissolve. Then I'm just going to transfer this back into my jug. Excuse hand. And I want that to cool down, so I'm going to put that to one side while I sort out everything else. In my bowl here, I've weighed out 140 grams of coconut oil, and to that I want to add 60 grams of stearic acid. ,60 grams of stearic acid. The next thing I'm going to do is transfer these to the crock pot. When I'm making this, I want to use the whitest oils available. You can substitute these, but I'm just keeping it simple as this initial demo. So now I'm making up the lye, and in here I just want 50 grams of water. Perfect. So I'm just switching to my small scales to weigh out the sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide I want 34 grams, and this transparent soap has 0 superfat. That's fine, that's within. And into this jug, I'm going to weigh out a heck of a lot of glycerin. 400 grams. I'm trying to get this as accurate as possible. It won't matter if it's a gram or two under or over. So there's our 400 grams of glycerin. I will be wanting 200 grams of isopropyl alcohol, and it's really important that you use the highest alcohol that you can, so that there's the least amount of water, and this is 99% alcohol. I'm just looking at this and I'm hoping I've got the 200 grams in there. I just hope so. I'm waiting to pour this out because alcohol evaporates very, very quickly, so I'm going to weigh this out just as I'm going to put it in to the mixture. So I want this on the highest setting. Try and get that wire out of the way a little bit. And into this I want to add my oils. And into this I'm adding my coconut oil and stearic acid. That's going to take a while to melt down. Stearic acid has a very high melting temperature, so that's going to take a while to melt down. So I'm just going to leave that there to warm up. The lid for this is broken, so I'm going to have to put a plate on top of it. We'll come back when that's melted. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. Let's have a look. And I'm going to add the sugar solution now. That's a sugar solution. What I really don't want is for it to go brown. Give that a blend in. big lump there. I'm going to just leave that on, give that a stir, put the top back on, leave it for another few minutes. And when I come back, I will have weighed out my 200 grams of alcohol into my glycerin here, and I'll be pouring that in. Right, let's see where we're at. Okay, to this. So I've mixed 200 grams of alcohol with my 400 grams of glycerin, and that's going in here now. Get this glycerin out. Now I'm going to do loads and loads of blending for maybe as much as 5 minutes. Maybe more. Because we've got the alcohol in there, and because we've got the alcohol in there, those lumps should dissolve because alcohol's a solvent. Ugh, my hands are all sticky. The reason it takes so much blending is because we've really got to get that solvent mixed in so all the particles will dissolve. Okay, so now that I've blended that for several minutes, I'm going to cover it again and leave it for another 15 minutes. So let's have a peek at it now, see what it's doing. And as you can see, it's got this sort of scummy layer on the top and has gone clear. And that means it's ready to pour. But here goes. So don't worry about this scum at the top because that's just little bubbles. I'll squirt some alcohol on that to see if I can get rid of it. But remember, you're going to be remelting this anyway. So at the moment, that's just it's kind of an aesthetic. And you can shave it off. But I'll give it a squirt with some alcohol. Try and reduce those. And then what I'm going to do is let this cool down, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer for just about half an hour. Okay, so I left this in the fridge actually overnight. looks frosty. That's not because it's cold. But the top of this soap looks how I feel. So I had this in the fridge. I've taken it out to get it back to room temperature, which is about as cold as the fridge. So let's unmold it. I'm just going to chop a couple of little bits off of it. Okay. Sweating a little bit. Let me cut that in half. Just going to chop one more piece off. There. Question is, what to do with it? I'll be back. Right, it's been a few days, and this soap seems to have gotten clearer to me. I don't know whether it's the light conditions, but it definitely seems to have got clearer. Did shave that bit, but now I'm going to do a melt test. I'm going to melt some and reform it. So I'm just going to use these little chunks that I've already chopped off. And I'll just chop them up a little bit. To me, it definitely seems to have got clearer, but I could just be fooling myself. As I was saying earlier in the video, I don't really do melt and pour soap myself, so this is a big experiment for me. So I've chopped this up. I'm going to stick these pieces into my jug and put them in the microwave to melt down. And as far as I understand it, you need to do this in little bursts until it's all melted. Here we go. Okay, so this is melted down in 3 30-second bursts, so 1.5 minutes. And I'm going to pour one into this. I don't know how much I've got here. Pour a bit into there. I'll give that a squirt with alcohol. And let me see if I can just move that gently out of the way. And I've just got a little bit of blue water-soluble dye that I'm going to add to this. Oops, I don't know how much to add. That's how much I'm adding. Stir that in. Pour that into this one that's got something in there that looks a little bit like a little bit of beeswax. It's gone now. Right, and into this I'm pouring blue. I'll give that a squirt with alcohol. So I'm going to leave those to solidify, set up, and we'll come back and take a look at them. I'm back. It's probably been maybe, I'm thinking about an hour and a half. I wasn't keeping track of the time. I did check it after about half an hour. It wasn't ready. I think it's been about an hour and a half. So let's unmold these. There we go. Really nice and clear. Might just shave that off and take another look at it. That's that one. And now for the blue one. Which, because this is a little bit thicker, now I can see, from where I am, I can see my fingers through it, but I don't think that's going to show up on the camera. I wonder if I could put a light underneath it. Go find out. Now, I've got a light. I don't know how this is going to work out. You might want to put your goggles on, your shades. Woo! Right. Okay. Oh, I think that you can see that that is transparent. Let's get rid of this light.